for sure.
Cool. So how you been, man? Other than the illness you got now?
Good, just sick, dude. It's so annoying. Like I avoided it because I got kids in my house and they were just passing sickness. Then my wife got sick, and it was like a week ago, and I was like, all right, I'm in the clear. And then like 2 days ago, it was like this whole sinus congestion, terrible thing, and I've just been doing that now, and so
So
it
you're getting
finally
that
hit me.
worse?
But like I got Taylor Swift this weekend, so I better
Oh shoot!
I better
Oh man,
I better start getting a little bit better here.
I forgot. You're a family of Swifties over there.
Well, I have two daughters, okay,
Yeah,
and for them it's like a huge social event. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you went to Taylor Swift, oh, that's cool,
of
blah blah
course.
blah. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it gives them some street cred, I guess.
I mean, it would just be like a guy being like, "Yeah, I just went to the Green Day concert," and be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you saw Green Day? Like,
Wow, great.
did they sing
You
this?
know?
Did they sing that? I have a video." Boom. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Tickets are good, in a really good spot to where
Nice.
it's like we're real close. And so I was just like, I gotta get ready for that. Plus, during the day, I'm taking my boy to like go see a football game, like college football
Oh,
game.
damn! You got a busy day.
Yeah. So, and then we got
Nice.
Halloween tomorrow. You going trick or treating?
So I'm gonna be passing out candy, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah, I bought some candy. We got because like the Kroger where I live is a 15-minute drive. Just doing a simple Kroger trip is always like 30 to 45 minutes minimum.
Oh,
So I bought a what is it? Like they deliver it to you, right? So
yes.
yeah, it's like
Stop.
I don't know,
Shipped.
$70 for the year, and they do unlimited delivery to you. And so I was like, hell
Yeah.
yeah, that's
But
like
normally you
how much
like
would be in
tip them
gas?
though.
Yeah, you still have to tip a little bit, but I think the tip is kind of like in DoorDash now, how it's like semi included. So
Yeah.
because you pay the monthly, it's like a lower inclusion of a tip or whatever it is, but
Yeah.
it's cool. I've liked it so far. We bought a bunch of candy, so I got they're the Reese's, but they're the white chocolate ones, and they're
Oh.
ghosts. So it's a white ghost chocolate like Reese's.
Dude, that's pretty dope, man.
They look sick.
All right,
Also,
hold on. What is your favorite Halloween candy? And what is your least favorite Halloween candy? Like if somebody hands you this candy, like you're potentially egging their house or at least TPing it.
so I have to break this down, I think, into chocolate and then regular candy or like
Okay.
harder candy, right?
Okay.
Because I do like chocolate, but I like other candy more.
Yes.
So I was actually happier as a kid to get like Skittles or Gushers or stuff like that. Um, so let's see. All-time favorite though, including everything. That's really tough. Nerds ropes were really good, but they're like so sugary. You can only have a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe like sour Skittles or Sour Patch Kids,
Yeah.
something like that.
SPKs are pretty good. Sour Patch Kids always good. They're always
So
good.
that would probably be like somewhere in like the gummy to like hard candies is going to be my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Chocolate, I think Twix.
Really?
Love Twix. I love
Okay.
the pretzel and the caramel. Like it's a nice crunch of just not pure chocolate, and I think that's what makes me like it more.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I really like peanut M&Ms too.
Peanut M&Ms are great. Peanut butter M&Ms are even better.
Oh, they're so good. Yeah.
Yeah. And
You
then
can't lose.
they had fudge M&Ms for a while.
Ooh.
And those things are pretty goated.
Yeah.
So like one of my favorites when I was a young kid, and I don't know why, but we used to have those things called bottle caps.
Oh, I know bottle caps. Yeah.
They're different than today's bottle caps.
Okay.
They were like a little bit more chalky
Yep.
and like kind of soft and powdery. So good. What's up, Devo?
Yo, what's going on, man?
And so, yeah, I used to go wild over bottle caps for some odd reason when I was a little kid.
They're kind of cool too, right? There's like they look like bottle caps, so
Yes.
I don't know. They're kind of cool.
Yeah. And so I was a big fan of those. I was a huge fan of like Nerds.
Yep.
When I was a kid. And then my least favorite And this is maybe going to show my age because I don't even know if they're around, but they definitely don't sell. But people used to hand out these like little, it was like wax paraffin paper, okay, and it was orange and it was black, and it was like this peanut butter fudge stuff that was on the inside. Dude, it's so bad.
Huh. Least favorite. I mean, that's probably why they don't make it anymore, right? You
No, they
haven't seen it?
do. It's
Oh, they do?
around. It's around. But
Man.
yeah, it's just hold on. Let me see if I can find it. You've had it before. Everybody.
Maybe. I was really, honestly, as a kid, like I was really particular with candy. So like Halloween, I loved Halloween. Still, I think my favorite holiday, favorite time of the year, the decorations for orange, purple, pumpkins, like just the whole atmosphere of Halloween. I love it.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge like candy eater or chocolate eater, really.
Oh my God, there it is.
All right, bring it up on screen. Tell me what this is.
I wish I could.
Or just tell me, I'll bring it up on screen.
Just look up worst Halloween candy. Google search that shit
worst
under
Halloween
images.
Candy.
Under images.
I'll bring it up on I'll show everybody what I'm looking at.
See, right there.
One?
1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one over. That shit needs to be gone.
These do look familiar.
You had them before. Everybody who's ever had Halloween candy has had these before. It's terrible.
Are they like a taffy?
Yeah, almost like a taffy or like a fudge taffy peanut butter sort of deal.
Huh.
They're the worst.
Kinder makes some bomb stuff.
Kinder, yeah.
Yeah.
Kinder Bueno and whatnot. Raisinets, super underrated. I'll tell you this, you eat too many of those things, you'll be shitting for a week, bro.
Oh, dude, I bet. I bet. So actually, I just had my friend here from England, and so like I went to England for a while. I don't know if everyone knows that, but I studied in England for 2 years. And the first year I was there, I couldn't afford like a plane ticket back for Christmas. And I was going to be one of the only kids like stuck in the dorm rooms while everybody went home. And one of my friends found out about that. And he was like, nah, you're going to come back to London and like, you'll see what London's like. So he let me stay with his family. And like, I had plenty of room, but I just mean a lot of people lived in this house together. And it was like a pretty small, cramped area. If you've ever been to England, the houses are just not like America. They're much smaller. Space in general is just lesser. So like, I just really appreciated like what he and his family did. They even bought me like Christmas gifts so that on Christmas Day, I wouldn't be not opening something with their family. Like just the nicest people ever. So I felt like this was my chance to finally like, you know, pay him back, let him see America and kind of, you know, give back like what he gave to me. So I brought him to like the Georgia Aquarium and a lot of the parks around here, took him to a Chick-fil-A. Like, I think he's addicted to Chick-fil-A now. So yeah, I don't know. It's just really cool. I haven't had a friend like come from another country in a long time. So that was really dope.
Yeah. We had foreign exchange students. And dude, when they came here, they were like, you know, your food's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have so a few of the differences, they don't have free refills in the UK.
No.
So that was kind of like a shocker when I went over there. Their ketchup doesn't taste good. So a lot of the times they'll tell me that they don't like the way our food tastes and that our ketchup is bad or whatever. And it just tastes different. The way that they make it is just different.
Well, so tomatoes are different, right? So our American palate and the tomatoes that we can grow here are generally from California. And the breed of tomato over there is like, let's say Stanislaus tomatoes, right? Which are sweeter. And so with these certain tomatoes, right, they can't be grown anywhere but here. So our American palate is used to these sweeter tomatoes, right? Whereas if you go in Europe, a lot of those are like San Marzanos, which is more of like an earthy taste, I guess you would say. And so that's why our pizzas taste different. Everything, spaghetti tastes different. You know what I mean? It's just it's very different. We can grow their tomatoes. We can grow San Marzanos. They can't necessarily grow American style tomatoes.
Do you know that for being a pizza guy?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what's
So
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the little things pizza taught me, Devo, if you're still listening, did you unearth your baked nation? And if so, were you happy with the result?
Dude, can I still unveil my
Yeah, you can
vacation?
if you want
Let's
to.
let's do one. I wanted to do one live.
Wait, okay, hold on. What's the floor price on an unrevealed?
All right, let's go check this out. Me.
But I don't think they
Finally,
have them separate though. So
it's okay. We'll figure it out. So let's see. All right. Baked Nation revealed 160. We'll just keep scrolling until we find an unrevealed, maybe.
this might take forever.
Really? Are they worth that much?
There's only so
Because
much.
if I might not. Okay. So 335 for an Do I want to open it, dude? No. That is a big difference. 335 to 160? That's more than double. Just for not opening it. I mean, what's the percentage? Like, how many rares are left?
I have no idea.
Is there any way to find that information? Does
It's just
anybody know?
random. No, it's random.
It's random.
Because you can re-roll. Remember, if you don't like your traits, and from what I've been seeing,
I'm not re-rolling.
From what I have seen, when people have re-rolled, they've been generally pretty happy with the results.
Well, for, basically double the amount of your first one, I would hope so.
Well, so it only costs like I think $20 or something like that.
Oh, I thought it was like 158.
That's what I thought, but no, it's not.
No?
It's not.
Okay.
So it's up to you. I mean,
I'm gonna get a plain Jane, dude. I know it for a fact. Like,
how do you know?
I know it for a fact.
Well, 168. Are you
No,
sweating
it's
168?
set in stone.
Are you sweating 168?
Bro, yes.
200 ADA.
Yes. Every little bit of ADA is ADA. Because I could, in theory, though, because I don't ever think about it like, oh, it's just like a 20 ADA difference or a 50 ADA difference. I just think about it like more ADA, and then I'll put it into SNCC, and then that'll be more ADA.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like 10 ADA into SNCC into something else into something else is like just infinitely more.
See, Devo's mine are still unrevealed.
How many do you have? Because I only have 2. So I don't really want to lose. If you have
2, just do one.
I don't want to lose half the valuation.
Hold the thing. Regardless, you're going to lose half the value.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. We all know this. If I don't get the best of the best, it's not selling for slightly more than floor. Right?
I sold my ugly one that I sold instantly.
Yeah, back when things were popping. It's been like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
No, it's been like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I think, I don't know. Let's look. What's the daily volume? Where can I see that in activity maybe?
Yeah.
So peak volume was 99,000 ADA.
Yeah.
What's the daily?
So you got one sold 2 minutes ago.
1,800. So what is that, like 10 sell a day? 9? Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
At least you didn't get into ADA gods. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We might gotta put a pin in this one. I'm not ready to open this up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I won't do it.
Well, wait. When was the last unrevealed? When was the last unrevealed sold? Do you know?
That one was sold yesterday for 300, and now it's at 335. Price go up. I don't know if we keep scrolling though. Let's see. There might have been one sold for cheaper. So 325. Last one was 300. 350.
Yeah, I mean,
are they buying them and unreleasing them, or are they holding them?
I don't know. They might hold them to play later, but
what was this 370? So how long will this be open indefinitely?
I don't know. Devo, do you know? Is it open indefinitely, or do they have a certain amount of time?
I feel like they always put a time limit on it because of the back end. It probably costs money to host it. So
I bet it's indefinitely until the thing is done.
Maybe for a few months, but I would feel like eventually it would stop.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
So that's basically fair price. I mean, even up to 6 days ago, they were between 300 and 370, the unrevealed.
I mean, you can sell your 2 right now.
Yeah, that'd give me about 700 and something, some change. And then fees. So
Minus
maybe
fees.
700 on the dot, maybe a little less.
Yeah, maybe 625 maybe.
Hmm.
What's up, Fadi?
What's going on, man? I don't know. We were talking about this before we went live, and I feel it in my bones, man. Like crypto always has those cycles. NFTs, they have those crazier cycles, but we always have that lull, and then we have that random pop off, or what feels random. Feels random to me. Maybe it's not random to the people who were in Block's Discord and saw Snack get launched, but I feel like I'm always like a day or two late to those little pop offs, and then we have to settle with like the bank coin, which was great, or like the cock coin or whatever, right? So I'm trying to be slightly more active and just kind of scouring, just kind of lurking around like a little snake. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find it before it pops off because I feel it coming. I feel like with the election day is on November 6th, by the way, so that's right around the corner, just next week, and if we start to see Trump, like we already see Trump going up in the polls and stuff like that, and you can look on Robinhood even.
Dude, I don't know if I feel that though, man.
I do, but
I don't know if it's because of
it's
my
all
feed.
a feeling, though.
I don't know if it's because of my feed or whatever, but like I'm lacking confidence right now.
Damn, it's not there. Let me see if it's on my phone. I woke up this morning, I opened up Robinhood, and there were like bets on Trump and Kamala, and it was heavily in Trump's favor. And then it was saying like these are not actual results; these are based on da da da. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So it's. I don't know why I can't show you guys on the like website, but maybe I can get it to show on my phone. Let's see.
You got it's in your background, bro.
I might have to turn that off. Let me turn that off for a second.
For everyone, that's not his real background.
Okay. Yeah. Me and Block, we live in the same house, if you didn't. All right. So
there it is.
Yeah, all that shit in the background. But see if it'll focus right there.
64%.
Yeah. That's whatever. It's I think it's just votes or bids.
Do they know how many bids there are total?
So right now it says 14.9 million for Trump. And then, but that's interesting. And then it says 22 million for Kamala, which is interesting. I don't know why. Here, I'll show it again. But you can see the numbers like right below it. 22 million for her, 15 million for him. It's interesting, though. I don't know. It looks like Trump's winning by a landslide, but maybe it's showing.
But somehow,
I don't know.
I just don't feel that way.
Well, have you watched? So recently, Trump was on
Joe Rogan.
He was on Joe Rogan.
I watched the whole thing.
Okay. Now, how did you feel about it?
It was like a nothing burger. You know what I mean? Like it was just like a getting to know Trump. You know what I'm saying? Just like much like Joe Rogan does with all of his guests, right? Like, who are you? You know, tell me about some things in your history and stuff like that, and like this, that, and the other. And so I think it was cool though. I mean, I listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even like sidetracked or doing anything extra. I wasn't staring at the screen either, but it was like laying on my chest and like I was just chilling there.
Yeah. I had to drive my homie back to the airport, so I put it on in the background.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, like it was cool. The part where he went into Abraham Lincoln and stuff like that, it's hard to remember everything. Right. And so people were like, oh, it wasn't Tad. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He died 6 years after, he was out of the office and this, that, and the other.
I don't know. People arguing semantics and like, oh, he got a date wrong or whatever, I think is really dumb. I also think it's really dumb to slander people and talk about their families in any way. Like even when they wanted to go after Hunter Biden for his laptop and all that, like let's just focus on what we're going to do, what has been done, and
Right.
you know, our policies, stuff like that. So that's just kind of how I feel about it. But
like I don't care about Hunter Biden,
right,
right? Like he could be free, he could be locked up. I don't really care. The only problem that I ever had was like if somebody is getting money, you know, in an
Russia
illegal
collusion.
in an illegal way. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? In like an illegal way. That's probably not great.
right.
But you know,
But so
10% for the big guy, you know.
yeah. So I really liked that he was on Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan asks questions unapologetically and is just very just straightforward. Like, this is the question I got. If you don't answer it, I'm just gonna keep asking, right? Yo, what's up, Riyad Mogar? I voted for Trump yesterday. Amen, brother.
You know who that is, right?
Amen. Riyad. Oh, that's I can see now in the what's up, Greed?
Greed.
What up, homie? What up,
What's up,
homie?
Greed? I saw him in Ana Gods the other day giving him shit. It's kind of funny.
I didn't know your real name actually. What's up?
Yeah, you
But
might want to hide that, bro.
too late now.
Maybe not. It's gone. It's on
Too
the
late
internet.
now.
I'm screenshotting it and everything, bro.
But so one of the things that I was the most interested with, and me and my friend actually had a debate about this before I heard Joe Rogan talk about it. So it was really cool. I wanted to know about the environmental stuff. So if you listen to what Trump's big plans are, he wants to drill a lot. He wants to get electricity pumping in the United States so that not only can we afford some of these, EV cars, but also so that we can power AI and not fall behind China.
Right.
Right. Right now we're leading, but we want to stay that way.
Yeah.
Always been dogs. Yeah. So Rode talks about that, Joe Rogan, and he says, what did he say? He was talking about you want to let these businesses past some of the restrictions, right?
Right.
I don't know if you've heard that, but he said he's like, oh, just get rid of those restrictions. Like, we're going to drill, baby, drill, and we're going to da-da-da, right? And so that worried me a little bit because this is a really long way, a really long, like, explanation. But we essentially, as the U.S., we created these restrictions to try to make, green policy and not pollute, right?
Correct.
And I think we all agree with not polluting. I think we all agree with that. However, what's happening is we're really the only ones abiding by that. I don't know about Europe and all that, but China, Japan, like, they are not listening, right?
Right.
And so they'll dump in their waters, and then about 4 days later, that circulates and it comes to our streams, and now we need to clean it up and use our resources to clean it up. And our companies are following these restrictions.
Right.
So we're only shooting ourselves in the foot, and we're essentially letting everybody else get away with it and cleaning up their mess even. So what we're doing in a sense is, and I don't know, because I need to look into the exact restrictions, and he didn't talk about the exact restrictions, which was a little rough, but it's probably going to be something like, he said the restrictions aren't that bad, and that, for example, what people will do is, oh, this building is like 4 inches off to the left, you need to tear down the whole thing and rebuild it. And they say that to bankrupt the company or stop the company from wanting to rebuild so that they can't build there, right? Instead of just saying, hey, just move it 4 inches to the left, they'll say you have to demolish it all. And so, like, those are the things he's trying to bypass. However, within that, I know, just common sense, there's going to be a few things where maybe he lets some people pollute a little bit more, or, maybe in our air, maybe in our waters. I don't know. But that was the thing that kind of bothered me a little bit. But if we're going to fall behind economically due to green policy that nobody else is following, like, I don't really fuck with that either. So I don't love it. I don't love the policy for more electricity, but the current policy of just shooting ourselves in the foot isn't great either.
Right.
Kind of tough.
I think us as a nation, we need to be leading the way in certain aspects, right? Like, do we necessarily like pollution? You know what I'm saying? Go yellow.
Go
My
yellow.
piss will go yellow. I'm fucking dehydrated as shit. So anyway, do I like pollution? No, I was just thinking about this like the other day. I was like, you know what? Like, if it was me, and let's say I was a politician, like, I would be like, can we all agree, like, we want clean air, regardless of whether you're a Republican, Democrat, or whatever. So let's work on that. Let's build some like actual sanctuary cities to where it's not about immigration, to where it's more like this land is protected. We need to protect more of our land, right?
Absolutely.
Outside, do whatever, right? Like get the oil, get, electricity costs and other things like that down. But I mean, like state parks, other things like that need better funding and need to be taken care of. And we need to make it so where people can actually like enjoy the land in which they're on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like
just breathing sounds
take
great.
time off from work, bro. Take time off
Yeah.
from work. Like I feel bad right now because I have 3 days off this week. You know what I
You
mean?
feel like you should be working, you mean?
I shouldn't be working that hard. You know what as hard as I have been going, I should not be working that hard. I need
So
to enjoy.
you mean you feel like you should be working? You don't mean you should be working more. You say you feel weird because you have 3 days off and that's not normal.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. I thought you might mean like, dude, I need to get back to work. Like it's eating at me.
It is
Like,
eating at me. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Because it's like I feel like I have an obligation to be there. It's like I'm just.
But
not
you
used to
also
it.
feel like that's unhealthy.
That is very unhealthy.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm
Like
trying to just figure out where you're coming from. Yeah.
it's super unhealthy because for every hour that I'm there, I'm denying somebody else a job or an opportunity to earn a living. You know what I'm saying?
True.
In
but
a way.
We've also determined already that you probably want to be there more than anybody else.
That is correct.
So screw those people.
But like, dude, I need to be able to enjoy the land in which I'm on, so pollution does not help. I feel like there's reasonable steps and then there's overstepping. And so the Green New Deal is like an overstep. The problem is like, who's paying for all this? Well, we are.
We are.
The tax citizens are. And it's not necessarily like the wealthy, right? It's like your middle class. It's always been the middle class because we don't have either the knowledge or we don't have the ways to bypass certain tax regulations, right? And so,
yeah,
or it's the poor people, right? Like, sure, they could pay taxes, but we're also paying for them to like live,
Yeah, they talked about the taxes a bit too, which I thought was really cool, because I think the two understanding of taxes, you're either a Democrat and you hear you're going to lower taxes for the people, and you immediately think, yes, that's my guy. All else doesn't matter. That makes sense to me, and I get it. That sounds great. But then the other side as a Republican is that, oh, well, you're going to lower taxes for big business. Well, that's also really good because that'll mean that the goods that I want to buy from those businesses will be cheaper and I'll be able to afford them. And maybe even they'll be hiring more so I can get a job there. Like all of these things really help the entire economy, not just like a few people's bank accounts here and there. And a lot of the people that are going to be getting, like a tax credit or a bump, and lower taxes as a Democrat, it's going to be a very small percentage. If you're making $40,000 a year and you get your taxes reduced by 1 to 5%, that's nothing in comparison to the cheaper products that you'd be buying by having, let's say, Apple's taxes reduced from, what is it now? It's like 25% or something. And I think he wants to reduce it to 15 or maybe it's 30.
Yeah, something like that.
It's really high.
Yeah.
But when he was in office the first time, I believe we had it at 15.
Yeah.
So we want to go back to 15. So if you think though that like all that's bullshit in your head as a Democrat, like, oh no, they're just helping out big businesses, you don't get it. That's the lie that they feed you. Then that's the side you're on, and us as Republicans, like we believe that you're being lied to and like that's not going to help you more. And I think really if we could just get a financial auditor to just sit down with everybody and actually do those benefits out and show you're like, hey, you might be saving $1,000 on the money that you spend, but overall throughout the year of you living, your groceries might be $2,000 cheaper and your phone would be $200 cheaper and your gas would be $10 cheaper on average. Like you really break all these things down and it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. When somebody who was Trump that was like no income tax, I'm like, oh shit, that seems pretty legit.
He said too, he doesn't want to tax tips anymore either.
Right, which is good.
Which I thought would be cool because I'm tip-based.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people out there that are tip-based, right? And so that's just my goods, right? Like the big thing is like if you go with no income tax, let's say, it allows me more money in my pocket, number one. Number two, I feel better about spending and then I can do whatever I want with my money, right? The problem is it's like, okay, so we're getting income tax and then when we pay for things, we get more tax. Is then we get taxed on realized gains. We get taxed on selling things. We get taxed on everything, right? And it's just kind of like, yeah, no tax on overtime, and
Yeah,
that was a
one
big
too.
one too, right?
Yeah.
And so what I think is that, but although I'm going to be honest with you, like I can tell you firsthand knowledge, like I work 50 hours a week, right? About that after that 40 hour a week, the last 10 hours, right, are not as effective as my first 40.
No, but I think the point is you shouldn't be working that anyways.
Right.
So the fact that you are, it's like, I mean, the
It's
company
fluff.
has to deal with you at this point. Like
Right.
you shouldn't even be there. There should be another employee.
Right. And so I think we as citizens get taxed out the ass.
And we get taxed multiple times.
Correct. We get taxed on our income. We get taxed on what we buy. We get taxed on what we sell. We get taxed on everything, right? There's people that have to pay tax for garbage.
You have to pay tax every year just for owning a home.
Right, correct.
Just for owning a home.
Yeah.
That's really dumb.
Yeah. Because you don't actually own it.
Because it's owned by the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the land and everything.
And what's really dumb too, if I did own it, if I completely paid it all off, I'd still have to pay tax every year.
And like this goes to pay for congressmen, senators, everybody's governmental jobs, right? And so when you give me my actual income, like I'm more willing to spend money, tax the things that I buy, right? Like that's okay. And if that goes to pay for, roads, this, that, and the other, but I don't like the idea of getting taxed so freaking much all the time. You know what I mean?
That's
like
why
even in Europe, it's not like that.
They went to crypto, right? That's
right.
why a lot of people are doing that. They're hiding their wallets. They're moving countries, doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I don't know. I can't do 4 years of whatever the hell we're doing right now.
No, dude. So I was talking about this and I was like, I said something differently just months ago. And I was like, if you would genuinely be upset with the person who you want to win as president not winning, like maybe you need to like talk to yourself a little bit, Right. And then I found myself, I was in the living room yesterday or a few days ago. And I was like, if Trump doesn't win, I think I'll genuinely be upset.
Right.
And my mom kind of like snapped on me. She was like, oh, that's just horrible. That is just wrong. Like, why? Like, you sound like your father. Like, da-da-da. And I was like, hold on. Like, only because if Trump doesn't win, that means that there's either that many Democrats in this world, and that's really sad, or that means, or just for this election, I'll say too, because there's times where you might vote Democrat, and I think that's fine. But in this election in particular, or that means that we got cheated another election. Either way, I am extremely unhappy with that result. And where I live is either being manipulated super heavily to where we don't even know what the truth is, or we're being so manipulated heavily that the population is starting to believe this as the truth.
So, yeah, and you're in Georgia.
So that's just, I don't want that reality to be, that would just make me sad, bro. I could be wrong too. Like maybe I'm the one who's pilled, right? I don't think so, right? But I'll never know. We'll never know. But I have my belief, and this is going to be my belief till I die, or until like something extreme happens and I can see for myself. But it makes no sense. Right now, I'm going with complete common sense, and it tells me that Trump is our guy.
Oh my gosh!
You just got to blow your nose.
Well, I got a call from my regional manager. I don't want to hear from this person on my day off. So anyway,
we do.
I don't know. You live in a battleground state, right?
It wasn't like, I still feel like it's a Republican state. When I do valet, there's way more Trump people. There's way more people talking about it. There's way more people that are just like, yeah, this is a Republican state, like vote Trump. And I don't get any flack from Democrats. I don't see them. I don't see Democrats at all here. So like, I would be shocked if Georgia somehow actually voted Democrat. Now, I don't live in Atlanta. Atlanta's probably maybe more Democratic than the rest of Georgia, just because that's where A lot of LGBTQ people hang out. That's where a lot of new businesses, stuff like that. And I know that is majority Democrat. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But something really cool with Bitcoin. We'll get off super politics at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Whoa. Chill.
with Microsoft, they saw how well MicroStrategies has been doing, and they're debating putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So that's leading a bunch of speculation to see if Microsoft's going to do it, what other big corporations might want to hedge their way into some Bitcoin. And right now we're seeing Bitcoin, where is it? I know yesterday it peaked at 73 again. Which was sick.
which is good. Like, that's very good. I think it's kind of, in the grand scheme, okay, if they buy Bitcoin or whatever crypto, that's cool. Does that mean they could incorporate crypto into their microtransactions, into people actually owning the game, right? Like, so I don't own the games that I buy, especially digitally, right? I just own the license to play them.
Right.
So servers go offline. Guess what? There's no game anymore. Like, that's the difference between like the hard disk copy that we used to get and the shit we get now. And we asked for this.
Well,
we did. We asked for this. It's like whatever. But you own the license to the game, not the actual physical game.
Well, the thing that's kind of crazy too is that they'll release a game that's not even finished yet.
Right.
Because they can just push an update later.
Well, they got to make money, right? They can only lose money for so long. But do you think that might be a possibility where people incorporate crypto into their games?
It's already been a thing that they've attempted. It's never been done at the level of here's a super successful game, even gaming company, let's add crypto. It's at the moment just been, hey, we're going to try to make a game with crypto.
But GTA 6, I think, is doing it.
But it hasn't done it yet. So I would like to see when it comes out, if it comes out. I know everybody's been waiting forever. So I don't know. I'm just not holding any hopes up for it. I do think it's an inevitability. I think inevitably, of course, it's been an idea, and humans make ideas happen. When you think of something, you just make it happen. You keep throwing your hat at it until it works, right? So definitely at some point that's going to happen. I think Bitcoin too, we have to remember this is still the first year for ETFs for Bitcoin. We have a long road of growth, in my opinion. The first year of ETFs. And if you also remember when ETFs came out, they talked about corporations and trying to get other corporations and big businesses to buy Bitcoin using the ETFs. And they spoke about how it takes months and months and sometimes even years to present this to new corporations to where they're comfortable with it. And then they want to do it. I think Bitcoin started off as gangbusters because you already had some of those corporations that wanted to do it. They didn't need to be convinced. So as soon as they were ready to go, they were like, yes, here's my money, let's go. But now I think you're starting to have those corporations slowly turn into pro Bitcoin that you didn't have before. And again, it's just the first year. I think we have a lot more to go.
Yeah, I think we're going to actually not have a renaissance or anything like that. I don't want to say that, but I think people will be more open to the idea of crypto than before.
Agreed.
And because it's coming from like a source, trusted source, I guess you would say. Trusted source, Microsoft. You know what I mean? ETFs, JP Morgan, right? People for some odd reason trust those companies, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see. I need a pump so bad right now.
It'll happen. I haven't been really bullish on crypto in a while, but seeing Trump, I don't know. I feel like he's gonna win. I could be wrong. In my head, if he wins, crypto has nowhere to go but up, and sideways.
Yeah.
And then after 4 years, maybe down. But seeing him, getting better and being super pro crypto, and then seeing Microsoft talk about it just the other day, it's not going anywhere. Cardano, like, I know Fadi is joking here with the layer 2. He's referring to the joke, and I'm sure you're all aware, but he's referring to the fact that Cardano is going to be in charge of smart contracts for Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
So, which I had a question about because Bitcoin already had ordinals. So smart contracts must have already been in some form or another on Bitcoin, or were ordinals given to people without a smart contract somehow?
I don't know. I think they like the way the UTXO management is done. And so that's why it's there.
Well, I think we all know that Cardano is the most secure. We will
Yeah.
definitely not say fast.
No.
But Bitcoin is maybe the most secure and slow. So they kind of work together. You have the most secure with the most secure. Like, let's keep it secure. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be fast because Bitcoin's technology is behind anyways.
8 layer 2 for Bitcoin, year 2076.
Yep.
I like that.
That was
Yeah.
exactly what I thought. And I think a lot of people thought that too. It was like, that sounds great.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
Right? Like next year, the next year, the next year.
Yeah. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I think it was cool news. Like, I didn't think it would like move the meter, you know what I'm saying?
It
But
didn't. Nothing happened.
no,
But
nothing happened. So, but I mean, it's cool news. I don't think
it is.
Bitcoin people. Charles talks so much shit about Bitcoin, dude. He does. He's like, it'll be
Yeah.
dead.
I
It'll
keep
be
Charles out of
gone.
my feed sometimes, to be honest.
Which
I
is
just
never
don't want to
good.
read it.
What?
I keep Charles out of my feed sometimes. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I'll see a tweet and I'm just like, I'm just not gonna read that one this morning. It's
Yeah.
fine. I don't know. It's when you still believe in your person, but then your person goes off the rails and says some redonkulous stuff, and you're just like, I still believe, man, but you're hurting the brand.
Yeah. No, 100%. And yeah, there's sometimes he goes off on these tangents and like he became unhinged. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago where people were like, dude, Charles, you're on one today. Just like blocking people. Like he was on one, dude. It was unlike anything I've seen from him so far. But yeah.
Everybody's subject to it. I was even having a conversation in the kitchen the other day with my family, and this is controversial, so it's a very general controversy, I'd say, but there's things in the world that we would do as human beings that are bad, and then I feel like sometimes we learn from them and we're like, yeah, we'd never do those things again. But then I feel like there's some things that are bad, we know they're bad, and we would always choose to do them.
Yeah.
So hard example here, but there's some people who have maybe had an abortion, right? And that would be considered, I would say, a bad thing to have an abortion, right? Like, anyways, for whatever it is, killing a life, right? Like, in and of
Right.
itself is bad. Now, whatever the reason behind it, like, I can get behind it. I'm pro-abortion. I am. But ultimately, I still think it's a wrong thing to do. Like, it should be the last resort. But multiple times, if you're a human being and you're put in that situation, you might understand it's bad, but still make the same bad decision over and over and over again, right? Because it benefits you in whatever way, or because you have whatever belief. So I was tying this in somehow, but it's basically that there's going to be like things that we do wrong that will always happen and they're bad, but it doesn't make you like a bad person.
Yeah.
Right. I was tying it in somehow. Don't remember, but
no, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like for me, it's like, yeah, everybody has their vices and stuff. Like I'm not saying abortion's a fucking vice, but what I'm saying is that
alcohol, weed, whatever.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that, yeah, just because of some of the shit that I've done, like even like yesterday doesn't make me like a bad person. Like the overall scale and picture of the shit that I do is probably generally pretty good. And I feel like this is my naive outlook. I think most people are good overall.
Same.
Sometimes they just do really shitty things. You know?
I agree.
It's when you do those shitty things over and over and over again.
Right.
And don't mess up somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like make mistakes every day. Just like try to make them different than the ones before. Right.
Well, also just don't put yourself into those predicaments. Like if you're going to have an abortion every time, that doesn't make you a bad person. However, you did choose to get pregnant a few times. Like You should look into that,
Should
right?
probably
That's
watch out for that.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, is like you do your best to not put yourself into those situations. But anyways, I was gonna tie it in. My ADHD mind cannot for the life of me remember why or how. But I did sell my SNEC a few days ago, maybe a week or two ago, actually. I think it was a week ago. It was like right here. So 297, 296. I remember that's where I sold it at. And then I bought yesterday back at 279. So I don't know what that is, 5%, maybe 10%. But I made about 1,600 ADA, which felt good because I lost like 3K on that flipping coin back in the day. I don't even want to talk about it.
Wait, which one?
The one being pushed by L. COO, was it?
Q?
Fuck, man. You gotta make me go look at my history.
Oh no. Don't bring up the history.
I don't even. Oh, it'll be in CTO.
Oh yeah, that was like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah. This coin that's doing so great. I still have so much of it. How much is this worth? This is worth 12 ADA right now. This was at one point worth 3,000 ADA.
Dude, I would sell it.
There's just no point, like
12 ADA?
12 ADA. I get it.
Get rid of it. It's not, bro. It's never coming back. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on
that. But yeah, so it felt good. I made half of that back, selling out my SNEC. I 100% believe in SNEC. I'm trying to buy back in. Like I said, I bought back in a small amount at 279. That was my first re-entry. And I'm just going to keep trying to buy dips. Hopefully every 5 to 10%, I'll just keep grabbing between 500 and 1,000 ADA. If it falls really big, maybe I'll just dump the bag.
Yeah, you should have got in that big dip right there. See that big dip?
This one?
Yeah.
If I saw it, I might have.
Buddy.
But I mean, I bought here, 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 and then I sold up here. So I did the thing,
Winning.
I did the thing. So I'm going back down. I bought a little here. In all honesty, I should have probably waited until like here.
Yeah.
But I believe in SNEC. So if it has this resurgence really quick and starts going to its all-time highs, I'm going to be extremely bummed that I didn't at least throw in a little bit on the dip after I sold it. Right. So that's the only reason I do that, is just because I believe in SNEC too much to allow myself for a better entry.
Yeah. I think it's a smart play. Take profits, Yeah. No big deal.
For sure. I was talking to Chef Reckless in the Discord today, and I know he made a big bag on Nike and some other things he made some bags on. And so he's pretty big on meme coins this time around. He thinks when we have the super cycle that it's going to be a super cycle of all memes too. And I think he's right. I think memes are really easy to get into. A lot of the things that were more niche are only going to be gotten into after Bitcoin goes parabolic and after more of the altcoins have kind of done their run. And then people are looking at the what next factor. So I am still buying certain things. I got into Illuvium. I've been in Illuvium, but I was down like 70%.
Yeah, which you were in that way earlier in the year.
Yeah,
right?
I bought Illuvium probably like 5 months ago, and then like 8 months ago, and then just kind of chilled. But now I'm down pretty big on it. But if you see, Illuvium's down to 36, and this run it peaked at 160. That is one hell of a bounce back if it does. It is crazy, though. It's lower than where it was before all that. That is not a good sign.
Squeak? Devo is saying squeak?
Not a good sign. Squeak. Is that that's probably a new Cardano coin, right?
It's not a fucking meme. Are we talking about memes here?
Squeak. Is it 2 E's?
Nothing.
This one.
Is that it?
This one. So it came out the 17th. It's doing well. What is the liquidity? 47,000. Pooled ADA 23,000. Tripled my bags. That is bueno, my friend. Are you selling out right here? What are you doing here?
Yes, it's a meme. What's their Twitter look like? What's that shit look like?
All right, so they've got a website, they got a Twitter, they got a Discord, they got a Telegram, they got an Instagram. What is an M? They have something I've never heard of. What is an M?
The hell is an M?
Oh, Medium. Okay.
Oh, a Medium article. Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
Yeah, right? I was like,
Well, cool. What the hell, Squeak? Let's do it.
they
Okay, look at their Twitter.
haven't done anything on Medium yet. Yeah, I should have gone straight to Twitter. I want to check out the website too. Okay. Horrible website. That sounds about right for a meme.
Oh my God.
Look how great this is. Like this isn't me doing this. This is just how it looks. I can't click on none of this. This is amazing. I know this is just the first edition. Like, relax. Hey, you got to keep it in.
Throw my fucking 401k into it.
You got to let them know. Squeak.
Cute.
Little chipmunk. I like him.
Cute little picture.
The Squeak rebrand. Okay. Was it a different name before? I'm close to selling.
All right. I'm not buying your bags, Devo. Sorry.
You know, when I see a chart, I mean, it's coiling back up. It's had its moments coiling up. At least sell half, right?
It's got that nice cup and handle I saw.
Yeah, right.
That cup and handle at all the best formation in the world, right?
Until it turns around real quick because
correct.
Nomar sells on you, or Nomad or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And freaking dumps 30K ADA.
Monad?
Oh, there it goes. I don't know. What's his name?
Monad Alexander.
Monad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Nomad, Monad.
Bro, he made if I have other times. Okay, cool. I'm getting
great community so far. It's always a great community until something accidentally happens, and that's how it always is. And that's why I'm so annoyed with accidental fuck ups at this point, because I was always the guy that's like, they didn't mean to, like, let's give them a pass. But dude, every coin comes out and then a month later has some accidental mistake with some developer in the back end, and it loses the community thousands. And I'm just so sick of it, dude.
Right.
And I do think it's somewhat inevitable or like unavoidable. What was the most recent one?
The casino.
The casino, right? The blackjack got like found out. I don't know. There's like some back end issue and somebody figured it out, and they stole, I think it was like 30,000 ADA or something like that.
Yeah, inside job, dude. Had to have been. Nine out of 10 times, this is an inside job.
I'm sure, because how else would you know?
Right. And so same thing happened with ADA Gods. They were like, oh, out of our royalty wallet, 4,300 ADA was taken.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we still got a good bit of our treasury left. And I'm happy, man. And the team sounds legit, and I'm sure they are. But as far as an investor, it's just fucked after fucked after fucked. Yeah. It just it hurts, dude. And that's why I see things like this, and I want to jump in. I want to like hoorah, and I want to be, you know, with Devo talking about my 3x gains, and all of us are making it together. But like, I'm so scared, dude. I can't.
Yeah.
I have to stick to SNEC because I just can't trust anything else. If I'm ever like 5 minutes within the first 5-minute candle of a meme, I'll get in. But if I'm ever later than that, I can't, dude.
Can't do it. Not right now.
I can't. And even then, I'm throwing in like 50 ADA and calling it a day.
50?
Every time I throw in more, bro, I just instantly lose. Losing 50 ADA real quick, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. But if I lose 100 ADA in like 2 minutes, I feel horrible.
So you're like a small pumper.
Kind of. But here's the thing that'll happen. I say this, and I'll put in 50 ADA, and then I'll make 400, and then I'll get mad that I didn't throw in 200. And then the next one comes out, and I'll throw in 300. And then I'll lose it all, and it's like, I could have just done nothing the whole day and been break even and had a good day.
You would have been fine.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Dude, I remember putting my first like 4,000 ADA into a fucking stupid meme.
How'd it work?
2,000 a clip. 2,000 a clip. You know, sell. 2,000 a clip. 2,000 a clip. Dude, lost. Dude, it was so shitty. So bad. And that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not that lucky. We've been lucky before, right?
Yep.
We've been lucky before, but that's the exception. That ain't the rule. The rule for us is we're going to get boned hard.
Yep.
on this every single time, dude. Every single time we try to get in, make headway, do this, that, and the other.
Well, so there's gonna be a time where I feel like it's easy again too. So when Sneck first came out, there was so much hype and so many new people brought to Cardano, and the amount of time that Bankcoin, or I'll just give credit to Lil Thunder instead. The amount of time Lil Thunder put in to creating Bankcoin and building up that community and doing Twitter space after Twitter space for like a month or two before the launch, it was so, in my mind, guaranteed that you'd make something out of that play as long as you didn't get too greedy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it did. It played out beautifully. I'll probably always look back at that. That is such a sexy ass play, and that was my first big play, so I'll always have it in my head. But recently for stocks, I've been kind of figuring it out too because I haven't been looking at meme coins. But Palantir, like I picked that out so early, up 150% off of that in just like 2 years.
Yeah.
SoFi was my newest big play. I have a 2-year option that I bought on SoFi 3 weeks ago. It's up 60 something percent. I have SoFi shares that I bought at $7 because rates are going to come down. And on top of that, they postponed all of our student loans. So the student loan debt that was going to SoFi is gone or was gone for 4 years. And so I got to pick up SoFi at $6, $7. My average cost now is $6.15 or $7.15.
Yeah.
And it's sitting at like 11.36 or something. It's breaking out as we speak.
Which is good.
Like all these things, man, I feel like I just have to be patient. I have to be patient, but also know when it's coming and just go hard. So instead of doing like the 50 here and the 50 there and the 50 there and the 100 there, nah, you just wait and go fucking hard. And if you're wrong, you just do it again. And I feel like your odds at the very least are increasing. So you might not make that money back as quick, but you should in the long term be up way more than doing more plays.
I mean,
that's kind of
all I'm doing right now, I'm just focused on the market. I'm putting $140 a week into S&P. That's
smart.
It. That's all I'm doing.
Smart. I'll show you the SoFi contract I bought. So I grabbed this. I'm up 70% now. When did I grab this? But I don't remember, but it was like 2 to 3 weeks ago. October 9th, it says. And average cost $236. Now it's worth $403. And it expires January 15th, 2027.
So I'm wondering what it'll be like then.
I think it's going to, so like I said, SoFi is a financial tech company. So essentially a bank just without all the bank space, like without having to pay all the people in the buildings.
Right.
So I feel like it has so much more upside to grow. And then on top of that, with rates coming down, they're going to be able to do more and more loaning and lending out, which will help just astronomically. I think banks in general, like if you're not big on SoFi, that's cool. Maybe pick another fintech or pick a bank that you're cool with. But rates are definitely going to come down more and more between now and 3 years from now. So win for SoFi. It's just a no-brainer. They had earnings yesterday before the bell, and it was crazy because they had earnings. They killed earnings, like crushed them, and then they tanked 11% and then came right back up and then, kind of closed down. We opened up today, and then they just went crazy.
Kind of looks like a fucking meme coin chart, dude.
It does.
You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
The other really cool thing about it is down here, if you look, where is it? Their earnings, they've had positive earnings for 4 quarters in a row now, which makes them eligible for the S&P 500.
Nice.
Which, if they follow what Palantir did, this won't happen until another 4 to 5, maybe 6 months. But still, I mean, that's when you want to get in before it happens.
Right.
And I like to see that. I like to see that this is a company that went from negative earnings to now positive earnings, and it's continuing and getting more.
Yeah.
So I think this is a company that's just getting started.
So in 2 years, if you sell in 2 years, right? Somebody is buying your shares at how much?
It's a $12 strike price. Okay. So I have the option to buy 100 shares at $12 a share between now and January 15th, 2027. So for every dollar it's above 12, I should get $100 extra on that contract, is essentially what that means. Now, there's a lot that goes into that, like how much time is left, how quickly did it go up, what's the volatility, the delta, yada yada. But if we're playing it, just bare bones, super simplified, a contract is 100 shares, and every dollar would be 100. So it says right here the break even price for me would be $14.36, even though I bought a $12 contract. But because you buy time, the delta, all that, that's how it factors in the extra. Yep. I really wanted to go all in, but when I decided to buy the contract, I played options a lot. Usually there's a time where you're just a little wrong. Like the option might go down, before you're actually right. But in this case, I bought it and it just kept going up every single day for like 3 weeks, which is normally what you'd want. But I was trying to build a position in this and have multiple contracts. So not exactly what I wanted, but I'll take it. I wanted to use all of my money and go all in because this Robinhood is just an options account for me. I'm just trying to learn options and trying to just play around with it.
Yeah.
So I was going to try to throw the whole 1,000 on there, but oh well, is what it is. I'm not going to double down now. Too late.
No.
Not after up 70%,
Yeah. 70%. That's a killer right there.
Yep.
Somebody's
talking about it.
How's my Tesla doing?
Let's see. Tesla had good earnings. I think it was like last week. Yeah. And they went up like 22% in a day. It was the largest increase in Tesla in I think like 10 years or something like that, or maybe
Did you see their robot?
I saw their robot.
Thug Nasty with the big nation. Look at him.
Dude, that one looks sick.
Thug Nasty.
Dude, you got the green eyes with the smoke coming out the head. Man.
Yeah.
That one looks sick.
Super baked.
I'll go back and replay. I appreciate that, homie. Appreciate you. So yeah, Tesla had really good earnings. I did see the robots. The robots, I was told, were being controlled by like controllers in the back. Doesn't really matter. I get the idea of like what they're going for.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I don't care at all about the robots. I don't see people making money with the robots. What I do care about more is their energy sector grew by 50%. Their revenue grew. I want to say, I'm gonna get it mixed up with SoFi earnings now. I want to say it was like 20%, 25%, something like that. And then they're finally profitable on their Cybertruck sales.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Which I hated the look of the Cybertrucks, but seeing one in real life,
is
very different.
Yes,
very different.
So when I was driving to go pick up my friend at the airport last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, I was driving side by side a Tesla truck, and I like looked over and I was like, oh, that's a Tesla truck, and I like just kind of ignored it, and I was like, wait a minute, and I kept just glancing at it, and I was like, this vehicle for whatever reason just screaming to me that this is the future. And I know that's dumb and cliche and corny and everybody says that, but you look at this car and it just looks mean.
Yeah,
dude. It's so polarizing. It looks like, dude, this vehicle just is going to eat your car. Like,
yeah, and it's high up. Like it's really high up off the ground. And it's very distinguishable. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it.
It looks sick. Too.
Especially the lights at night. You can see those from like a freaking mile away. You're like, oh, that's a Cybertruck. There's a college basketball player here. He's like #1 point guard in the nation, right? Playing for Purdue. And he has a Cybertruck, dude.
Oh, sick.
And he drives it around and it's matte black, everything matte black. And dude, it looks sharp as hell. And like when they came out, I was like, dude, this thing is ugly as shit. I still don't even know what the inside looks like.
I think the inside looks better than the outside if you're if you're an outside hater, right? I think the interior is maybe more comfortable to you as far as like a luxurious car would assume it to be like. I would imagine they're comfy, right? Like thing's massive.
They have to be.
Right. You know? It's so expensive too to not make comfy.
Yeah. What's a base model?
Let's go check it out.
$80K?
Now, something else that they did, he axed the 25K model. If you know about that.
No, what's this?
So he was going to make a $25,000 car by the end of next year, 2026, and I guess he just said no, never mind. It's not going to be possible, but he is releasing a $25,000 robo-taxi. So you won't be able to get a car at 25,000, but you'll be able to get the robo-taxi, which if it can drive you and do all that, it essentially is a car. Just, I don't know, semantics technically. Model prices.
The Cybertruck start at like 79,990. So 80K.
Wait, can I add? Oh, Tesla truck. Is that just like not? Is that completely different? Okay, here it is. Order now. Okay, so starting at 75.
Yeah.
4.1 seconds, 0 to 60 is pretty quick for a truck.
For a truck that heavy,
right?
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy. Includes estimate 5-year gas savings. Oh, okay. So I guess you get like a huge discount on your charging.
No, like that's what you're gonna save.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you get a. I don't know if you get a tax break, but sometimes when you buy EV stuff, it's a tax break.
I think you still do.
I wouldn't get those wheels. What other wheels?
What are these?
I like those more.
Those are the only two options.
Yeah.
With all season, integrated with all terrain. I'm in Georgia. These would probably be fine.
Yeah.
Is there? Oh, okay. Included an extra 3,500. So
included.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
Base model, booch.
Okay, so here's the inside. So here's the gray, probably the standard. The white decor.
That ain't nothing.
I kind of like the gray better.
Yep.
Yeah. For an extra 2K, it's just bright inside my cab. No thanks. Turn on dark mode.
Self-driving.
Yeah, 8K. Okay, so another thing that was said was that full self-driving, you might need to retrofit different cameras onto existing cars if you want to have in the future like the best full self-driving, which was previously stated that all technology would work. But I guess hardware version 4 is maybe not compatible with hardware version 3, something like that. That is really cool to have it self-park though.
Yeah.
Dude, the other day at the valet, I felt so bad. I could not parallel park a car to save my life. I literally tried for like 10 minutes and I was like, I can no longer parallel park. I haven't done it in like 7 years. I was able to do it when I was a kid. And now for whatever reason, I can't.
Can't do it.
I feel so dumb, dude. I'm a valet who can't parallel park and I also can't drive stick.
That makes no sense.
I know. I just get laughed at when I'm like, hey, is that a stick? And they're just like, yeah. And I'm just like, you want to park yourself?
Yeah, I'll pay you.
Yeah. You're good, man. You don't need
you can't drive stick?
No.
You have to go out on the weekend, dude.
Yeah. Everybody tells me, oh, I'll teach you. I'm the man.
Dude, some of the nastiest cars you're going to drive are going to be stick, bro.
I just don't care about cars. I'm not a big car guy, so.
Yeah, but I mean, get into like, one of the new like nice vets or whatever. Get into one of the new vets.
Trust me, I bet I work at the Montaluce winery. It's not like the best place in the world, but people do bring very nice cars like Ferraris, Lambos. Like I've driven some nice cars. I just don't care. If anything, I'm more anxious when a nice car pulls up. I'm just like, fuck.
Body said he can teach you.
You can teach me stick? Yeah, anywhere that's not America, you're pretty much having to drive stick.
Right.
I know in the UK, every car was stick. It's not like that anymore, but majority still. So yeah, dude, just regular purchase would be 86,000. I don't think I added anything.
Not really. Taxes.
Oh, I do have on those wheels. Okay. Other than that, base model, everything stock, 82,000. And when includes destination? When does oh yeah, because you have to pay for the delivery fee too.
Yeah.
That is so much, dude. That is so much. These look sick though. I can't lie. Having it right next to you on the street, seeing it cruise, I don't know, dude. It just feels like the future.
That's different. Very different, dude.
Yep. And Trump, he's like super pro Elon, and
Yeah.
Elon super pro Trump.
Yes.
So, another good reason for Trump to get in. I mean, my portfolio at one point was my largest stock was Tesla. Now it's Nvidia, but
Yeah.
still, I think Tesla's my second. So I would love for that to do well.
I think I don't know, man. You can vote at any time, right?
Yep.
Everybody get out there and vote. Not telling you who to vote for, but
Yep.
if you're American and you don't vote, it's weird.
Un-American.
Unless you're under 18, then
I mean, this election in particular, this is one people have a lot of strong feelings about. So I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, but yeah, get out there and vote.
Yep. And
For sure.
But you got to think the next election, we got to have better candidates, right?
Well, I think we'll at least have cooler heads,
Yeah.
like as far as our population. I think right now, a lot of people are way too hot-headed to even have a conversation about this.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, my aunt or my cousin, I also realized my dad is like the classic troll. He was a troll before trolls were trolls.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I found that out yesterday. Right? I was just watching and like looking at his behavior, and I was like, he's a troll. How have I never realized it?
Yeah.
So he, my mom, and my cousin have their own group chat because they grew up together, right? My cousin is like way older than me.
Yeah.
And she is heavy Democrat, but has always, texted me. She was the one who told me her opinions about like me not getting the vaccine and how I was a horrible person and da 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 da. She tells her opinions to anybody and everybody whenever she can get a chance. And my dad, he, as a troll, he took a picture of himself wearing a MAGA hat, MAGA shirt, like just decked out in MAGA stuff, and was just like, went out and voted today, and like that was it. And it like put her in this triggered state of mind. I don't know. She blew up the group chat. That was all he sent. She blew up the group chat because my mom was reading it to me when I was bringing her to the doctor.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh, like your father needs to stop. Like he's offending people. And I was like, no. I was like, we don't need to suppress dad's like emotions for Trump because somebody else got offended from a picture, especially when she's the one who will constantly hit me up and be like, oh, I used to think that you were really smart, but you're voting for Trump. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, but I just see it so much, dude. I see it in my family. I see it in friends. I see it in just like people outside, and people are not ready for a conversation. Even the ones that think they are and start the conversations themselves, then they get triggered from a picture. It's like, I didn't even say the nasty things that you said to me and you're already offended.
Yeah.
It's so annoying, dude.
I'm just tired. I'm tired of everybody being offended.
Same.
By everything. At the same time, it's like, well, by me being offended, by them being offended, does that make me worse? Because it's like,
you're not offended. You're annoyed. You're not. No. You're not offended that they're being offended or they're offended. You're annoyed.
Yeah, annoyed. I would say
that doesn't offend you.
Like anything people say, like I'm not annoyed by. Like any word, I don't really care. Like it's just you can say anything.
It just doesn't matter. To some people, it really matters. And I don't know. I don't know what it's like to like always get triggered by small things. Maybe, it's by the way that you grew up. Maybe some things happened. Like, I don't know. Right. So I don't want to just be ignorant and be like, you should just shut up and deal with it. But
I don't know, man.
About things, like absolutely some things, you have to let go of some things. You can't just get mad at everything.
Dude, but okay. So there's certain things that I'm like annoyed by, right? Like video games and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, like I just want video games to be video games, and I don't know why I'm annoyed, but like I don't this is just me, okay? Everybody, I'm not trying to, but I want a video game to be a video game, just like I don't want politics in my sports, right? It's kind of like,
so like you're anti-crypto within a game, you're saying?
No. Like I kind of I don't like all like the like misgendering stuff and like he him
So
where
like
you,
within games where people can choose their pronouns and stuff, you're kind
yeah,
of just like, dude, just let it be.
just let it be, right? Like it's
Yeah.
a video game character.
I mean, I'm a huge RuneScape fan. We all know that I'm a nerd and wasting my life away on this thing. But when they introduced the whole like gender thing, like you can have your pronouns in the game or something, there's quite a bit of backlash.
Well, yeah,
Now,
because
I
it's the
like the
old boys.
game
Old
so
boys play
much.
that game.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up on that game,
Yeah,
and I mean, I'm not like for it. I'm not against it. If you want to say you're whatever in a game, I mean, I think if anything in a game, it just adds to the creativity that you can be within a game. Because if I want to be a girl in game and like actually be a girl, I can now choose the pronouns for that if that mattered to me, right?
yeah,
So within a game, I just think creativity is completely fine. Now, like the agenda for LGBTQ or whatever, like yeah, I'm against that, but within a game, especially within like RuneScape or within any sort of like creative type of game, like you're there for creative reasons. Like this game is fake. You're killing dragons. All of this is fake.
right.
So I think it should be kind of let go. But maybe in some games or whatever, if that was like the main storyline was behind some stuff like that. But all in all, too, it's kind of a double-edged sword because this is real life.
Yeah,
Like LGBTQ is maybe something that like wasn't super prominent, but yeah, offended from a picture. Exactly.
yeah,
But it wasn't very prominent before, right? Like there were a few gay people, or maybe there were a lot, and they were just suppressed. Right? We could say that too because we won't know because they didn't
yeah,
claim it right back in the day. But to push the agenda, like having those what was it, those trans dances in schools and like bringing it to your children, like that isn't you trying to be accepted. That is you pushing that on children because that's
right.
what you want to become the new norm. And that
Yeah,
is what I am against.
yeah. I just I'm hoping, you don't want anybody to be ostracized or like made fun of or treated a particular way because of certain things maybe they can or cannot help, you know? So it's just kind of like, but I'm just annoyed by people just being offended all the time. It's annoying.
It is.
Like, and the thing
Exactly.
is, yeah, like we grew up in a different era where, like, do you remember, like, I gotta go soon. Do you remember when, like, adults wouldn't talk about who they voted for?
Yep.
Where people would say that, yeah, that's none of your business.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And now everybody, including us, is talking about who they're voting for. Should we go back to nobody talks about that shit?
I think we need to stop being so rigid. I think there's people who you can talk to because they're tolerant, and there's people who you can't talk to because they're intolerant. I would say I could talk to a Democrat for an entire day. I might be exhausted, right? But we could go back and forth, and I don't think I would shout at you a single time. I
Yeah,
don't think I would call you a name. I don't think I'd think you're stupid. I don't think I would demean you in any way. I think I would just talk back and forth, and we would talk facts, and I would show my things. You'd probably disagree a little bit, but as long as it's healthy on both ends, I can do that. But then
right.
there's those people where I know as soon as I disagree with them in any way, they're going to raise their voice or they're going to like get in my face or whatever defensive mechanism people choose. And that's where it's like, okay, well, I don't even want to have a minute of that.
Yeah.
So it has to go to like, do you think this person is capable of talking about it? And do you yourself really want to talk about it?
I'm just going to assume nobody is comfortable with talking about it. So
It's
I
a
just don't
safer
talk about
assumption. That's why you
it.
can't talk about it at work.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Because at the same time, if you don't talk about it, how is anybody getting real information around? You're not. The only information you're going to get is from the news. And if you always watch one biased side of the news because that's what you're choosing, you're always going to be the same. There is no growth.
Right. Right. I
It's
just,
frustrating.
yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping at
Yo,
some point in time,
what up, Hugs?
probably not in the next 4 years, 5 years or whatever, but like, you know, sometime we can get back to like normalcy. You know what I mean?
I think we will. I think we will. I think best case scenario, I truly think Trump gets in office not only are the people who like are Trump supporters, will they be happy, but even the non-Trump supporters will at least be rid of him with giving it some time. Like
Right.
at least in the next 4 years, he'll be gone.
Yeah.
Right. You don't need to be angry anymore. Like you can be salty that you lost, but
No,
like
they
it
will.
happens.
They will still be angry.
They're going to be angry.
Orange man bad.
That's fine. But then I think I was saying this the last time too, is like the next election, we can just go back to hating the government.
Yeah.
Instead of like hating this man or that man or these people or those people, like we can just blame it on the government like we
That's
always
the thing.
did.
I've always hated the government though.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? The whole time. I'm just like, this is terrible. Like both of this is bad.
I don't even think that's a bad thing to hate the government. I think there's always going to be somebody who's above you, and naturally you're going to hate that.
Right.
Now, sure, our government has flaws. There are things to be critical of. But you go to any job, you'll not know this person. Whoever's above you, probably going to hate him a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? And the person
when I say I hate the government, I hate like the government. I love the United States of America.
Amen.
I'm very proud and happy to be an American. Like, amen. I love the place in which I am at, but the government needs some adjustment. You know what I mean? Like, I love America, dude. I fly my flag, you know, I celebrate, I do everything I can, you know, proud to be an American, but good God, the government is so bad. They're inefficient. How about this? Not even like, I don't think they're bad. They do some terrible things, but they're so inefficient.
Well, they're inefficient, similar to how Cardano is inefficient, because it's safer, right? We have our checks and balances. So to get something approved or to have something happen, this person needs to okay it. And then this person needs to okay it. And then this person needs to see it. And then they need to stamp it. And then it goes to a bunch of people who then try to figure out the specs. And then it goes to this. And then eventually it'll happen and it'll be put into place, right? So, or you could have Solana, where there's just a dictator at the top and he says, yep, that's happening. Boom, next day it happens. But then sometimes that Solana dictator, he crashes out, you know, he goes crazy. You know, I said crashing out there. You see what I did there? A little tied in, play on words there, and crashes. You know, the network goes down. Yeah, fuck you, Solana. But yeah.
All right, I gotta pick up my daughter, dude.
All right, homie. I know we went a bit longer, but appreciate you.
That's cool.
I was like, I know you're sick.
It's been a while. You know,
it has been.
Yeah. So
I debated having my friend on for like a unique perspective, and you know, he would have had an English accent, so it would have been cool. But I was just like, he's only here for like 4 days. Like, let's not do that.
Take a week off. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. So yeah.
I appreciate you, homie.
Yeah, no problem. This next week we'll be talking about the new president.
I don't think we'll know yet.
By Wednesday?
November 6th is when we can vote. That's the last day of voting.
Correct.
Is it not? So we would still need days and days, sometimes weeks to count it all up.
What are you talking about?
We're not going to find out who's the president the day of the election.
The day of.
Are we? I could have sworn last election it took like a week for them to count it all up. I'm tripping then because I could have sworn. Am I tripping?
Dude, okay. When Trump was elected in 2016, election day happened. Okay.
What about 2020?
Okay, hold on. Election day happened. Okay. Yeah. And at 2 a.m. or some shit like that, because I was working at the Hut, bro, and I was closing that day, and my coworker was like voting for Hillary. I was like, Hillary's gonna lose. No, she's not. Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, at the end of it, 2 a.m. Like, you know what I'm saying? Late into the night.
Yeah.
He finally, everything was done. He was the president-elect.
Damn.
You find out that day.
I could have sworn there was something that went on with the last election.
Just because they were trying to negate the results, right? Like
that could have been it. So
it felt like that, but you knew that President Joe Biden was in there. Dude, and I'm just going to say this. Anybody, okay, this is my final rant. The best thing that they have running on and what they're running on is abortion.
I did think about that. That is not the greatest look for Trump, but at the same time, he isn't.
Give it back to the states. You don't like abortion in your state. Vote for different people statewide. And number two, move.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to hear about it. If
but
this is so important to you,
what the Democrats are running on, though, is that Trump is going to ban abortion. That is
he's
not what's
banning it.
going
He's
to
giving it
happen.
state rights.
I know, but that's what they're running on. They're in the campaigns. You literally, Trump is going to have a national ban by 20. No, he can't.
He even said, "No, I'm not." And then on top of that, like, dude, it's just it's so. Like, that's their talking point. That's the best you got after the years of shit we've just dealt with for 3 years.
It's not the best they got. It's just another thing they got. They've already tried to slander his name, 8 different trials, 4 different assassinations. Like, bro, they're just throwing shit at the wall. It's never going to stop.
But it's like, it's just annoying. It's annoying. I can't wait to get this over with. Next week, we should be able to talk about whoever the president is.
Yep. We'll either be dancing or we'll all be holding our heads in shame.
Just be like, what are we doing? Yeah. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna buy a big old American flag in this. I'm just gonna run around.
Drape it on me like Kid Rocky or some shit.
Exactly.
All right.
Sorry, doing.
I gotta go.
All right, homie. Have a good one.
All right, man. All right, you too.
Yep. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching. Remember to get outside, see your family, see your friends, and vote. We're here to make more money so that we can spend more time with them. Until next time, y'all. Peace.